All right. So we are reading chapter 17. Taking a look at the notes here. Who are we talking about? Who's this lady? And what's going on here? Well, as we're going to see in these notes, Dr. Ruckman has some adversarial things to say. But how do you not notice it? Well, if we go back in time with me, you could go back to me in college, and I would still tell people I'm Catholic, but I don't go to church. That response, because I didn't know any better. You know, I was blessed with a very good education in the Catholic Church, some fabulous teachers, and probably by today's standards, like a college level education in grade school. That's how much I salute you ladies there. They're long dead, I think, but maybe one of them is still alive. Um, However, I didn't know what all it meant with work salvation, what the implications of that, what was the Pope really about, what's really going on. I don't know anything. I didn't know any. I didn't know any better. And here I am in this college that promotes, what do they call it today? DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion. It promotes critical thinking, critical race theory, telling me I'm white, so I should just die. You know, um, I'm in this environment where, this is what they're teaching me and telling me white man bad, black people good, and all minorities better than white people, and white people are destroying the earth. That kind of thing. So I'm in this environment where they're teaching me to hate myself and at the same time telling me how great the Catholic Church is and all the great works that the Catholic Church does and how you need to work to be saved and stuff, and I didn't know any of this, what that was going. Oh yeah, that sounds fair. That sounds good. I just got to do good. I got to be good, do good, get a good job, and good, you know. Never opening up a Bible at that time, you'd pretend, but never really, never getting there, just always on the edge of it and not taking a second to breathe and think about what was wrong, what was going on, why is this bad. Take a breath and think about all this. So, praise God, I got a minute to think and to walk away from everything. And then you realize how infinitely important the Bible is. And then you realize everything that's taught to you in the church and in the world system is broken and hypocritical and dumb. And so thank God that God was merciful and patient with me to get me to come out of that state and to realize what was going on. But that's just me. I'm just one little peasant, you know? And God was so merciful with me, and He is still, you know? He's so wonderful. And He teaches you all this, and He speaks to you, and He shows you why this is so broken. Now, what do they say? Hindsight is 20/20 or whatever. I don't get it. Looking back, you can see why I bought into it. Because it was just what was taught to me. Nobody knew. You know, all the people around me didn't know what was going on. So now, you apply that realization to all the people around here today. You got to ask that same question, you know, can they come out of it the same way? Or is it too late for all these people, you know? I got to think with the things that have happened just in the past, that was 2008? My God, that's 17 years since I was sitting in a college, I was sitting in a college presentation and I was hearing everybody celebrate about Barack Obama 17 years ago. Isn't that incredible? 17 years? 19? Man, it was ridiculous. But you got to think that 17 years, people have noticed some of the same things that I've noticed and how stupid everything is, you know? You got to hope, but maybe not. Anyway, we're studying chapter 17, which is really all about that. How this thing, this woman, I guess, and this beast have manipulated everybody to drink of the fornications, the sin that she has created, and this thing has created all this evil in the world, and everybody's drunk of it, gotten drunk off of the fornications and the corruptions, the filthiness. They've all participated. Now, were you a part of that some time ago? And now you've come out of it? You've realized how broken it all is and how hypocritical and insane everything has gotten? Come out now and be with the Lord Jesus Christ. Something good. Someone righteous. Not this evil. Okay, let's start. Okay, the first note is on verse 5. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. Abominations! That's what it comes down to. How can we keep going with an abomination right in front of us? You know, why don't we do something about it? But no, we just keep going, you know. Yeah, it's there, but what do you expect me to do about it? How about we all turn away from it? Let's burn it. No, maybe that's too far. Let's do something else. Let them die over there. Let's go over here. Everybody, come on, this way. Let's leave this abominable thing away from us. But I can't do that. Okay, here's the note on verse 5. To avoid the obvious implications of chapters 17 through 18, modern expositors have tried to identify Mystery Babylon as Israel. See note on Revelation 11:8, or America. Others talk about some unidentified ecumenical church of the last days and economic Babylon, while the actual city of Babylon may well be rebuilt. See note on Isaiah 13:19. The Babylon of chapter 17 is the same as that of chapter 18. It is a specific city, not a nation or some innocuous church. It is a city with a religious aspect here and a political/economic aspect, chapter 18. So it is a church state. Huh. Well, let's break that down a little bit. Why isn't it Israel? Well, a lot of people complain about Israel today, about, a lot of people will blindly um, accept Israel and think Israel's perfect and blah, blah, blah. And I recognize the people that are angry at Israel and the Jews that aren't born again. They're not with God. They're they're doing their own thing, and they're involved with the human trafficking and everything. So I understand why people complain about Israel, but it goes along with the yeah, like it's saying here, ecumenical. Um, I lost my thought. Maybe I should drink more coffee. Oh yeah, replacement theology. That's what I was trying to get out of my brain. Sorry. Replacement theology. Everybody wants to replace Israel because Israel has become corrupted. Therefore, the church has become so great and they've replaced Israel. So, but that doesn't really work here either. Um, Ecumenical movement, that could be Babylon, right? Ecumenical movement is just what the UN is doing, just unify everybody and peace and love and all that. Um, and it doesn't work that way. When you work in retail, you realize all that peace and love stuff, it doesn't jive. It just doesn't work. People hate you. Different races are completely racist against you, and there's nothing you can do about it. But they tell you I'm supposed to be unified and I'm supposed to bow down to all other races and everything, and we're supposed to be this unified utopian nonsense. And all the races are better than me. You know all that. You know what I'm talking about. And yet, never mind. Never mind, because I'll say something bad. Um, Anyway, they tell you white man bad, all the other races good. Unify everything under one big blob, and there'll be peace and happiness and joy. But yet, who's committing all the crimes? Uh-oh, shouldn't have said that. Anyway, that's what the Satanists tell you. So an ecumenical movement is all about that. That would be pretty close to a Babylonian Tower of Babel perspective, to unify everything into one blob, but it doesn't work. People know that. People know it's a bunch of BS and are not happy. And this whole DEI situation, diversity, equity, inclusion, it's all UN. It's all dumb. And it's all Satan. So anyway, that doesn't work, like he's saying here. It's a church state. Okay. Here's the rest of the note. I'm going to make sense of this, okay? I'll stop rambling. The city is undoubtedly Rome. Uh-oh. In verse 9. Here is the mind which have wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 mountains on which the woman sitteth. That's where Rome is built, right? On seven hills. Okay, since no other city, including Jerusalem, can fit the description of verse 6 and Revelation 18:24. Jesus Christ may have been crucified at Jerusalem, Revelation 11:8, but no Jew beat him, nailed him to the cross, or shoved a spear in his side. It was Rome that was responsible for that, John 19. Rome killed the Apostle James, Acts 12:2, and the Apostle Paul, 2 Timothy 1:16-17 and 4:6. And Rome was responsible for exiling the Apostle John, Revelation 1:9. If you want to see the full extent to which Rome fulfills those 2 verses, read Fox's Book of Martyrs, my 2 volumes on the history of the New Testament Church, The Secret History of the Jesuits by Edmund Paris, Hitler's Pope, The Secret History of Pius XII by John Cornwell, The Vatican's Holocaust by Avro Manhattan, and Smokescreens by Jack Chick. Got quite a bit you could go read there. Those 8 volumes will show you how Rome, in both its pagan and papal forms, has been responsible for persecutions, torture, murder, genocide, and war for nearly 1900 years. You could also go watch Dr. Ruckman's Apprentice, which is Gene Kim on Real Bible Believers, that channel. He's excellent. He gives you all kinds of historical stuff about how evil the Roman Catholic Church has been involved in all these evil things that he's talking about here. So we're talking about Rome. Oh boy. Oh yeah, there it is right there. That eagle. See an eagle on top of the world? Isn't there something wrong with that? Is that a snake on the bottom? I don't know. Although the colors of the woman, purple and scarlet, match pagan Rome, see Mark 15:17-20. John 19:2-5. Matthew 27:28. She cannot be merely a reference to that because the symbol of imperial Rome was an eagle. Is that an eagle? I think it is. This woman's symbol is a golden cup. In the Catholic Jubilee of 1825, Pope Leo XII struck out a medal honoring himself with his church pictured as a woman holding a cup in her hand. The image bore the Latin inscription Sedet Super Universalem, or Universum, meaning the whole world is her seat. Well, there you have it. Or, oh God. Or, I saw a guy yesterday morning who was wearing the World Is Yours jacket. You know what the world is yours? That's a reference to Scarface. And I complimented him on his jacket. He was like, yo, thank dawg. Yeah, I love this jazz. I got this. It's so awesome, man. I only saw one guy in Detroit had this jazz so good, man. All right, bye. Sorry. And so I might have gotten a good customer there. Anyway, the world is yours. That's the Scarface. That's Shakespeare. Scarface is just a remake of Shakespeare, Macbeth. That's it, yes. But the world is yours, or the whole world is her seat. That sounds, you know, why would you want the world? Why do you want the whole world? Why don't you just want the peace of Christ? Thank God, you know? Because if you get the world, yeah, it might be good for a minute. You know, you might enjoy yourself for a minute. Eat, drink, and be merry, for tomorrow we die. But then you're going to burn in hell one day. You know, you can't enjoy that forever. It's like selling your soul to Satan. You know, you might get what you want for a minute there, but then inevitably he's gonna come back on you and say, "Pay up." That's what partaking in these fornications. That's what that's all about, you know. And inevitably, you're all going to burn. Alex, you mean I can't enjoy myself? No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying what these people want is world domination. total control. Everybody owns a mansion, owns a tire, and fast car, Lamborghini, and do you really need all that? I don't. Thank God. I'm pretty peaceful and pretty simple. I'm the enemy of... Actually, I'm very alone. But that's fine, though. I mean, that's how it is. I'm... Your boy is different, Miss Gump. All right, where were we? Maybe we should take a break. And on that note, Alex is different. I don't want the world. I don't want to be Scarface. Although it is a very well acted and impressive movie, it's not something you want, because that's what the movie is illustrating to you, that the world is yours. Yes, Satan is offering you the world. Everything you could want. Just like this prostitute on this beast, you know. It's offering you everything you could want, but do you want it, you know? And if you get it, would you be happy, you know? And I've recognized, you know, I think that's what he's taught me for the past year, you know, is you want that, yes, but would you be happy in the end, you know? Or once you get it, would you be able to hold on to it, you know? Or you're just going to lose everything and you're going to die in a blazing gunfight at the end, you know? I'm pretty simple, pretty basic, and I asked God for the peace, and He's given me that, and that's what I'd rather have than all the insanity that that guy, you know, it's not worth it. I think reading the Bible, that's what God teaches you. The world is not worth it. The world could be yours, but why would you want it? I'll be back. Thank you for listening. Have a blessed day.